A good full Tang knife could do a lot in the wilderness, but there are some jobs where a knife simply isn't the right tool. When you need to split wood, chop branches, clear a trail, or process larger pieces of firewood, a properly designed hatchet can get the job done faster, with less effort, and with less abuse on your knife. That's why today we're stepping away from the usual survival knife rankings and looking at 6 survival hatchets that can genuinely outperform a full Tang knife when the task gets heavy. I'm ranking them from number 6 to number 1 based on chopping efficiency, portability, handle control, head design, durability, sharpening, versatility, and overall value. This isn't about finding the biggest hatchet or the heaviest head. A survival hatchet needs to be light enough to carry, powerful enough to work, and controllable enough to use safely for extended periods. Some of these hatchets are compact tools that disappear into a backpack, while others are serious wood processing machines that can turn a pile of branches into a usable fire in a fraction of time. And by the time we reach number 1, you'll see why the best survival hatchet isn't necessarily the one with the biggest blade. Let's start the countdown. Number 6, Schrade Skax 2, the budget heavy hitter. The Schrade Skax 2 takes number 6 because it delivers a surprising amount of capability for a relatively affordable survival hatchet. This is not a delicate little camping tool designed mainly to look good strapped to a backpack. The Skax 2 is built around a substantial head and a full Tang-style construction that gives it a rugged, aggressive character. The stainless steel head combines a cutting edge with additional features designed to make the tool useful beyond simple chopping, including a hammer pommel and integrated saw capability, depending on the configuration. That multi-function approach is particularly appealing for emergency kits because one compact tool can handle several jobs around camp. Compared with a full Tang knife, the biggest advantage becomes obvious as soon as you start processing larger wood. The hatchet's weight is concentrated forward of the handle, allowing the head to generate significantly more chopping force than a knife can realistically produce. Instead of repeatedly striking wood with a relatively thin blade, you're using the geometry of the hatchet to split and remove material efficiently. That means less time fighting through branches and more time getting useful work done. The trade-off is weight. The Skax 2 isn't the lightest option in this ranking, and its multi-tool design makes it bulkier than a traditional minimalist hatchet. Some users will also prefer a simpler head because additional features can complicate maintenance. But for someone building a budget-oriented survival kit, that versatility can be valuable. The handle provides a substantial grip, while the overall design feels much more suited to hard camp chores than many inexpensive hatchets. It's especially useful for chopping small to medium branches, preparing firewood, clearing vegetation, and handling general campsite construction. It won't replace a full-size axe, and it isn't meant to, but that's not the point. The Skax 2 earns its place here because it gives budget-conscious users access to the fundamental advantage of a hatchet: efficient wood processing. For the money, it's difficult to ignore, and that's enough to put Schrade at number 6. Number 5, Fiskars X7, the lightweight chopping specialist. And number 5 is the Fiskars X7. And this is where the ranking starts becoming much more interesting, because Fiskars takes a completely different approach to survival hatchet design. Instead of building a traditional-looking woodcraft tool, Fiskars focuses heavily on efficiency, weight distribution, and modern materials. The X7 has a compact profile that makes it especially attractive for hikers, campers, and anyone who doesn't want to carry unnecessary weight into the wilderness. Its blade is designed to penetrate wood efficiently, while the composite handle keeps overall weight under control and provides a comfortable grip during repeated swings. This becomes a major advantage when you're comparing it with a full Tang knife. A knife might be excellent for carving, cutting cordage, preparing food, and making feather sticks, but once the task turns into processing thick branches, the hatchet's head geometry takes over. You can generate much more useful cutting force with every swing, and the curved cutting edge helps remove material efficiently instead of simply pushing into the wood. The X7 is particularly well suited to small firewood, branches, kindling, and campsite preparation. Another advantage is its relatively low maintenance. The synthetic handle doesn't require the same level of environmental care as a traditional wooden handle, and Fiskars protective coatings help keep the head resistant to corrosion. That makes the X7 appealing for users who want a practical tool rather than something that requires constant attention. Of course, traditionalists may not love the synthetic construction, and the X7 isn't designed for massive logs or heavy-duty splitting. Its compact size is a strength for portability, but also limits how aggressively you can use it. Still, that's exactly why this hatchet works so well as a survival companion. You don't need to carry a huge axe just to process the wood you'll encounter around a campsite. The X7 gives you enough chopping performance to outperform a knife dramatically while remaining compact enough to justify carrying it. If your priorities are low weight, simple maintenance, and efficient camp chopping, the Fiskars X7 is one of the smartest choices in this category, and that earns it number 5. Number 4, Hults Bruk Almike, the premium bushcraft hatchet. The Hults Bruk Almike earns number 4 by proving that a survival hatchet can be both highly capable and beautifully refined. Unlike mass-produced tools that focus primarily on low manufacturing costs, Hults Bruk represents a much more traditional approach to axe making, with Swedish craftsmanship and carefully finished materials at the center of the design. The Almike is compact enough to carry into the wilderness, but substantial enough to perform meaningful wood processing tasks, making it particularly attractive to serious bushcrafters. Its hand-forged head provides excellent cutting geometry, while the wooden handle gives the user a level of vibration control and natural grip that synthetic handles simply don't reproduce in exactly the same way. This becomes especially noticeable during extended chopping sessions. A poorly balanced hatchet can leave your hands tired and your swings inconsistent, but a well-balanced tool works with your movement instead of fighting against it. That's one of the biggest reasons a premium hatchet can outperform a full Tang knife during wood preparation. You're not relying entirely on arm strength. The head's momentum does much of the work. The Almike is particularly effective for processing small to medium branches, preparing firewood, shaping wood, and general bushcraft construction. Its compact design also makes it considerably easier to carry than a full-size axe. However, premium craftsmanship comes with a higher price, and the wooden handle requires more care than synthetic alternatives. If it becomes wet repeatedly or is neglected for long periods, maintenance becomes part of ownership. This isn't a tool for someone who wants to throw it in a bag and forget about it. It's designed for users who appreciate traditional craftsmanship and are willing to maintain their equipment. That said, the reward is a beautifully balanced tool that feels purposeful in the hand. The Almike doesn't rely on gimmicks or unnecessary features. Instead, it focuses on what a hatchet fundamentally needs to do: deliver controlled, efficient cuts while remaining portable enough for serious outdoor use. For bushcraft enthusiasts who want something more refined than a budget survival hatchet, the Hults Bruk Almike is an excellent step upward, earning its place at number 4. Number 3, Fiskars Bruk Wildlife Hatchet, the precision woodworker. Taking number 3 is the Fiskars Bruk Wildlife Hatchet, a tool that demonstrates how much performance can come from careful balance and excellent head geometry. Fiskars Bruk has become one of the most respected names in traditional axe manufacturing, and the wildlife hatchet captures many of the qualities that have made the company famous while keeping the tool compact enough for outdoor carry. This is not a survival gadget loaded with extra features. It's a purpose-built hatchet designed to cut wood extremely well. That simplicity is actually one of its biggest strengths. The forged axe head has a carefully shaped cutting edge that allows the tool to bite into wood efficiently, while the compact handle provides excellent control for precision work. Compared with a full Tang knife, the advantage becomes dramatic when you're processing branches or preparing firewood. The hatchet's head creates momentum that a knife simply cannot replicate, meaning you can remove substantially more material with each controlled strike. But the wildlife hatchet isn't just about brute force. Its relatively compact size makes it useful for controlled bushcraft tasks where precision matters, including shaping branches, trimming limbs, splitting smaller pieces, and preparing materials for shelter construction. The wooden handle also helps absorb some vibration, reducing fatigue when the tool is used correctly. Of course, there's a learning curve. A traditional hatchet requires proper technique, maintenance, and respect. The cutting edge needs to be maintained, the wooden handle should be cared for, and the tool needs to be stored properly. It's also considerably more expensive than mass-market alternatives. But if you're building a serious bushcraft kit, those compromises make sense. The wildlife hatchet is designed to last for years rather than simply survive one camping season. Its construction is straightforward enough that maintenance can keep it working long after cheaper tools would have been replaced. That's the real appeal here. You're buying a working tool rather than a collection of features. For anyone who spends serious time processing wood in the wilderness, the wildlife hatchet provides a level of cutting efficiency and control that makes carrying a full Tang knife alone feel inefficient for heavier jobs. It earns number 3 because it combines portability, precision, craftsmanship, and genuine chopping performance exceptionally well. Number 2, Hults Bruk AB, the serious survival workhorse. And number 2 is the Hults Bruk AB, a more substantial tool that moves beyond simple campsite chopping and into genuinely serious wood processing territory. The AB is still compact enough to be considered a practical outdoor axe, but its larger head and longer handle give it considerably more leverage and momentum than the smaller hatchets lower on this list. That makes it particularly effective when a job involves thicker branches, larger pieces of firewood, or more demanding shelter construction. This is exactly where a hatchet can completely change the equation compared with a full Tang knife. A knife depends heavily on controlled hand pressure and repeated impact, while the AB's head uses momentum to drive the cutting edge deep into wood. The result is faster material removal and significantly less effort for certain tasks. Hults Bruk's traditional forging process is another major reason this tool performs so well. The head is designed around efficient cutting rather than unnecessary thickness, giving it a balance between strength and penetration. The wooden handle provides natural shock absorption and allows users to adjust their grip depending on whether they're making controlled cuts or generating more power. That versatility is extremely useful in a survival environment where one tool may need to perform several different jobs. The AB can help prepare firewood, process branches, shape structural pieces, and assist with general camp construction while remaining far more portable than a full-sized axe. Its biggest drawback is obvious. It takes up more space and weighs more than a compact hatchet. If you're counting every gram on a long-distance hike, this may not be the ideal choice. It also requires the maintenance expected from a traditional wooden-handled axe. But if you're prioritizing capability over minimum weight, the trade-off becomes worthwhile. The AB delivers the kind of cutting power that makes a full Tang knife feel completely outmatched when you're working with substantial wood. It isn't trying to replace your knife. It complements it by handling the jobs a knife was never designed to do efficiently. For serious bushcraft, remote camping, and survival situations where wood processing is a priority, the AB is an exceptionally capable tool, and that's why it comes within one position of the top spot. Number 1. Fiskars Norden N7, the best overall survival hatchet. Taking number 1 is the Fiskars Norden N7, because it brings together the qualities that matter most in a survival hatchet without becoming unnecessarily complicated. The N7 is compact enough to carry comfortably, powerful enough for serious campsite wood processing, and designed with modern materials that reduce the maintenance burden normally associated with traditional wooden handle tools. Its head geometry is optimized for efficient cutting, allowing the blade to penetrate wood cleanly, while the forward weight creates useful momentum with every swing. That makes it dramatically more effective than a full Tang knife when the job involves branches, firewood, or structural wood for a shelter. One of the biggest advantages of the Norden N7 is its balance. It's not simply a heavy piece of metal attached to a handle. The weight distribution allows controlled swings without requiring excessive effort, which becomes important when you're working for extended periods. The handle also incorporates a reinforced composite design with a traditional-looking exterior, combining durability with a more natural feel. Unlike a conventional wooden handle, The composite construction is less vulnerable to moisture-related problems and doesn't require the same level of long-term maintenance. That's a huge advantage for a survival tool that might spend weeks inside a backpack or vehicle before being needed. The N7 is also compact enough to remain useful for hiking and camping rather than being limited to permanent campsites. It can process small firewood, clear branches, prepare kindling, assist with shelter construction, and handle general camp chores while remaining considerably easier to carry than a full-sized axe. No tool is perfect, and the synthetic construction won't satisfy traditionalists who prefer hand-forged heads and natural handles. But when we're ranking a survival hatchet, practicality matters. The best tool isn't necessarily the oldest or the most expensive. It's the one you're actually willing to carry and can depend on when conditions become difficult. The Norden N7 hits that balance extremely well. It gives you significantly more wood processing power than a knife, without forcing you to carry a heavy axe everywhere you go. For me, that combination of portability, cutting efficiency, durability, and low maintenance makes the Fiskars Norden N7 the strongest overall choice and the clear number one. So that's the countdown, from the budget-friendly Schrade Skax 2 to the Fiskars Norden N7 at number 1. The biggest lesson here is simple. A full Tang knife and a survival hatchet aren't really competing tools. They're specialists. Your knife excels at controlled cutting, carving, food preparation, and detailed work, while a good hatchet takes over when it gets bigger and the workload gets heavier. If you're heading into the wilderness, choosing the right tool for the job can save time, energy, and even your knife's edge. So which survival hatchet would you trust in the field? Do you agree with the number 1 pick? Or would you put another hatchet at the top? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this ranking, hit like, subscribe for more outdoor gear tests and knife comparisons, and I'll see you in the next one.